Ω!
Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Πού είναι ο Τάσος να σιγά που δεν θα το έλεγες. Αυτός ποιος είναι? Α, είναι... Ω! Σαπίθηκος είναι. Μαφιόζος.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other. Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey.
Complete malaka.
I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
Σενάρε καλά, πες τους. Εντάξει πες τα παιδιά. Έχει και μιλή attacks, έχει και όπλα. Έχει φωτογραφική μηχανή, έχει χείλ, οπότε θα πέφτει ξυλίκι. Για να δούμε. Εδώ είμαστε στο σπίτι του Fisherman. Εσύ είσαι ο Fisherman.
Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis. We were here. This is our house. Barry was outside on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... Okay. My head began to burst.
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
Πάμε.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
I think about it, θα του πω.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think. Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
It was that Innsmouther fisherman, Lewis.
Θα τον
It
καλύψουμε.
was covered in your son's blood. That may have attracted the beasts.
Are you certain the body is his?
Beyond any doubt. All that's left of him is a heap of flesh and this scrap of cloth. It's from his jacket. Just ask his friends.
But I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
Γι' αυτό πήγαμε εκεί,
I
γιατί
think I'm
έχει,
going mad, Mr. Throckmorton. I
έχει
see
κάποια λύση
these
αυτός.
visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here or guided or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological activity that may be responsible.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters and a key.
That's all you can tell me?
Let me be clear, Reed. You do not speak to me like that again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throckmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research but left all preparations to Professor Doe and Albert. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.
Α, άνοιξε το τέτοιο. Ωραία, από εδώ πάμε τότε. Σε ξέρω, Ντέμιαν, σε ξέρω. Σε ξέρω πολύ καλά, Ντέμιαν. Όπα. Βλέπει κάποιο όραμα πάλι. Εδώ πάμε να δούμε τι έχει γίνει. Γάμο το. Φίσερ είναι αυτός από τους ίσως, πώς λέγονται. Αυτό που σώσαμε τέλος πάντων. Ο οποίος μας πυροβόλησε ένας. Εδώ είναι το ένα λογικά. Που έσπασε την πόρτα. Ναι. Από εδώ μπήκανε. Κάτι ψάχναν αυτοί. Οκ, κάποια μυστική πύλη λέει κάτι και κουβαλάνε κάτι κρέτς, κάτι κυβότια. Και τα ήρθαν εδώ και τα κάψανε.
Time to figure this out. Several men broke into the expedition headquarters. What they didn't smash, they burned. The archives, even the newspapers.
Α, να το, γάμο, τι... Πού το έκανα!
I'm looking for Captain Sanders. Is he here in the port? Did the creatures get him?
I saw Sanders. Help me. I'll tell you what I know. He got back several hours ago. Those things, they came because of him. Sailors bleeding, dying. Blood hit the water, and then, well, then the wild beasts came to feast.
I gotta find Sanders. Where is he?
Saw him get away just after the shooting. Ran for the pier. Didn't see where he went after that.
Did you see anyone else from the expedition?
No, only Sanders. I'd bet my life no one else made it back.
Yeesh.
Εσύ δεν είσαι σίγουρη.
Shoulder.
Εσύ είσαι.
Some
Ναι, εσύ
psycho
είσαι.
in a bar brawl. Gun came out, he clipped me good in the shoulder. Something I can help you with?
Α,
I'm just looking for someone.
δεν
Captain
είσαι εσύ μάλλον, γιατί εσύ είπες ότι είσαι με σφαίρα.
Sanders. Never heard of him. I'm Joseph Willow. You should probably look somewhere else.
Αυτός είναι, φίλε.
That's funny. The records say you were admitted for an axe wound, just like a certain Captain Sanders got in the port massacre. Spill.
Περίεργο είναι.
You weren't there. Day after day on that ship, it was a horror, Mr. Reed. We saw things. Not one of us dared sleep. It was an expedition into cursed waters, mark my words.
What were you looking for underwater?
The cause of all this. The stones, the flood, the monsters. The scientists found cracks on the seabed. They were working on some theory of how it connected to the madness.
The ocean floor splits open and that means hysteria on land. Really?
We spent days over the cracks. We heard things. Saw things looking back at us.
Εδώ έγινε η βουτιά, Ναι. Και έχει και underwater experience. Άσε με ήσυχο. Πας και τα λοιπά. Εμείς το έχουμε βάλει στο normal.
Hark, he comes, the sacred full-bellied bearer of splendor. Take me, make me, I beg you.
Bearer of what? Who are you talking to? What happened?
Our eyes, first, second, third, opened by the aura. You see much, yet do not see the splendid shell of the white virgin here sleeping.
Cut the horse crap. Give me a straight answer.
Nonsense. But it is meaning that is meaningless. Open yourself. Walk, listen, pray. Wake, you holy worm. Take his skin and skull for your home. Take my worship and grant your kindness. I pray you.
Εδώ κάτι κάνουμε σε αυτό το πράγμα. Α, κάτι έχει εδώ. Όπα.
Perfectly preserved artifact. Was it the focus of their worship?
Τι ήταν αυτό το artifact?
A perfectly preserved artifact.
You see
Was it
now,
the
do
focus
you?
of their worship?
The splendid horror of the truth.
Έχει και εδώ κάτι τέτοιο.
A ritual knife and a cult sign. I think I better show Mr. Throgmorton.
Α, να τώρα.
We enter the temple the moment they take the key seal. Get ready to cut up their diving suits.
Και σε αυτό το σημείο πρέπει να βρεις τι έγινε εδώ κάτω. Τα steps.
Forget them. Get the seed and the seal now.
Okay. What? It's shivering.
Okay.
This... No! Get away from me!
I think I'm starting to get the picture.
Yeah.
The expedition found an artifact that drove them mad. Then the Innsmouthers stole it and the professor in one go.
Και τώρα έχει τρελαθεί αυτός και βλέπει τα πάντα, αλλά τώρα το ξέρω ότι θα τα δει τα πάντα, δεν με επηρεάζει. Τώρα το ήξερα, σε περίμενα. Πάμε my mind place. The Innsmouthers know the truth about this madness. They need the artifact and Harriet, the one who took it. Εδώ μπορούμε να μιλήσουμε τώρα.
I've got news, Mr. Throgmorton. The expedition members are alive. They're on the seabed in the sunken ruins. Some sort of ancient temple. They have enough air, but we need to hurry.
What happened? Why didn't the sailors help them?
Captain Sanders abandoned them, sailed away from the dive point. The fear, the visions, they got to him.
Sanders. I'll see that he doesn't have long to regret his cowardice.
I'm afraid that's not all. The Innsmouthers took the expedition's discoveries and kidnapped the professor.
What?
Ναι, έχει αρκετές.
Degenerates. How did that happen?
The Innsmouthers, they knew about the temple. They waited there hiding until the professor took what the Innsmouthers call the seal.
But how did they manage to catch my scientists off guard?
It seems that after the seal was taken from its place, everyone in the expedition suffered some kind of mental breakdown. The Innsmouthers must have known about that, waited for the right moment. Then they made off with Professor Doe and the artifact.
Drock. The Innsmouthers. Do you have proof they were involved?
One of the attackers was killed by a member of the expedition. I have a photo.
My expedition failed. My boy was killed. This is more than personal, Mr. Reed. This is a threat to everyone.
They have Harriet and the artifact she found, but she may still be alive.
That's why I hesitate to wipe their fish-faced kin from Oakmont this instant. But we won't sit idle. Find them, Mr. Reed. Not the grunts, but their leaders. Infiltrate their ranks if need be. Bring me my professor back.
Αρχίζει και αποκτάει ενδιαφέρον τώρα εδώ πέρα. Τα έκανα βλακεία στην αρχή.
And your best source of information is currently in the slimy hands of those Innsmouthers. Professor Doe shared the visions. She found something inside those ruins, and now they have her. She knows something crucial, I'm certain. There's also a more delicate matter I wanted to discuss with you, Mr. Reed.
I can be delicate when it matters, so shoot.
I have a colleague, you might say. His name is Herbert Glover. Like myself, he is a collector of fine art.
I'm a detective, Mr. Throgmorton, not a burglar.